You were friends with Nelson Mandela and are friends with the Mandela family. Talk about someone who's changed the world.
I spent a lot of time in South Africa early on during apartheid. I worked for a guy named Bob Brown, special assistant to President Nixon at one time, and a businessman and former nominee for ambassadorship to South Africa. And with him, we would travel basically all over the world. He met Nelson Mandela through Mrs. King. He took Mrs. King over to South Africa. And so we spent a lot of time with Winnie Mandela and Mrs. Mandela. And then Oprah came over, and she was very supportive of Mrs. Mandela and all of that. And when Nelson Mandela was released from prison, we were able to stay at his house for 10 days later on down the road. And she started building schools, and she built the Oprah Winfrey Leadership Academy for girls. And she got involved with it because Mr. Mandela asked her would she build a school. And she said, oh yeah, I'll build a school. And she built one of the top schools in the world. So we got a chance to visit and stay with him for 10 days, which was an amazing thing. You know, I don't know what else you can say about him other than when you spend 27 years in prison and nobody breaks you, okay, you're strong enough where they don't break your spirit. 27 years in prison and come out and you become the president of your own country and you change your whole country around. You talk about leadership at the highest level. He's the greatest leader that I know. Nelson Mandela had humility, and man, he'd walk into a place, walk into the kitchen, say hello to everybody, speak to everybody. You know, he never made anybody at any level feel inferior. Humility is your strength. I mean, it's not the ego. The ego is like, that's false representation. You know, that's acting big and going nowhere. The thing about humility is like an open hand. A fist is having something that's real tight. Nothing can get in, nothing can get out. An open hand allows you to be able to access the whole world at every level. So the power of humility is that you have the opportunity to share yourself with the whole world. It's where your strength is because it opens up the opportunity to share your existence with everybody in the world.